to SQL Server. Stored procedure is common in almost all the RDBMS software like Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, and so on. Okay, even MySQL, you have the stored procedure. You can create the stored procedure. So what exactly stored procedure is all about? Stored procedure is kind of a reusable component. It's a pre-compiled collection of one or more SQL statements. Instead of having separate SQL statements, right? There are some scenarios you want to combine all the multiple SQL segments into a single thing. You want to package multiple things into a single thing, right? For example, you are shifting your house. If you take each and every items to shift to your new house, what will happen? It takes a lot of time, right? What you do is you buy a carton box, you put all the items, right? As many items as possible, you dump it in a cartons or container, and then you shift it. So in that case, it will save time, right? So similarly, right, due to limitations and other things, what we do is we create stored procedure. Okay, with the help of the stored procedure, we can overcome the limitations and we can perform all the complex logic at the source system SQL Server itself. Only the output will be sent back to your Power BI desktop. Okay. It is a reusable count. Once you create the stored procedure, all you need to just execute the stored procedure, right? You need to just invoke the stored procedure. That is enough. Okay. I'll just show you one example how to create a stored procedure. So before that, we will see, what exactly stored procedure is all about in detail. It is a pre-compiled collection of one or more SQL statements. Okay. So what that means, once you create a package like a stored procedure, all the queries within that SQL, the stored procedure will get executed, compiled and executed once. Hence, whenever you call that stored procedure from your Power BI desktop, it need not to compile all your SQL statements every now and then. Okay. And consolidate data from different sources. For that purpose, you can use stored procedures and appending historical or incremental data. Okay. For that kind of situation, we can use this one. Combining queries with different filters or transforming that kind of situation also, you can use stored procedure. The advantage is the improved performance, code reusability. Once you write this SQL stored procedure, it will get stored as part of your SQL Server database itself. Hence, you can reuse it whenever you want it. And enhanced security. Okay, the security is very high, right? Because you have encapsulated all your business logic with the multiple, more than one SQL queries inside your stored procedure. Hence, no one can, access the each query or something like that. Okay. Only the specific set of users can use specific functions or something like that. So what I will do is I will just show you what is how to create a stored procedure. Anyhow, we will take a deep dive about stored procedure and all in the latest section. Okay, we have a separate session for that. So now to demonstrate how to call the stored procedure via my Power BI desktop. For that purpose, I'm just explaining all the things. Okay, create or alter the procedure. This is the syntax to create the procedure. Procedure is something like a ready mix in your home, without any notification, right? For any prior notification, you got many, visitors, arrived your house. So you want to give some refreshments, right? So in that case, you don't have to um, go and prepare in your kitchen everything, right? So what you do is simply go and buy the ready mix. Ready mix are readily available. It is packaged with everything, right? So in that case, you just bring it to your home, that ready mix powder, and then mix it with water. That's all. And then you put it in your vessel and then boil it and then, prepare it. That's all. In a matter of few minutes, the dishes are ready. Okay. The same way, it's kind of stored process something like ready mix. Okay. So here what I do is to demonstrate this, I'm going to show with a simple example. I'm going to see the blue colored ones are your reserved word. And here I'm going to use this procedure. Now we need to give some name for the procedure. So here SP join location sales fact. Simple one. Okay, I just use the stored procedure name. Ideally start with the SP. Okay, so that this is the kind of naming convention we follow. Okay, this is where we define the name of the stored procedure. Okay. So this is the keyword. You can use create procedure, that is enough. Alter is also, I mentioned it. That means if you wanted to rewrite the stored procedure logic again, the alter command you need to use it. That's the reason why I used it. And followed by this, you need to use the parameter. With the parameter, you can make your stored procedure more dynamic. Or param, we'll say param. I'm going to say int, okay? So I'm going to use a comment here, define the parameter and its data type. So what will happen is when the SQL, when you execute this one, the SQL Server engine, what it does is it goes and reads each and every line. When it comes to the second line, what will happen is it will go and read this one, right? It will go and read this one. And when it comes to this line here, as soon as it sees the two lines, it understands, hey, this is not my piece of cake. This is a comment. This is for the end users to understand what purpose I've used this parameter. So this is a comment. It's always a good practice to incorporate comments in your code, okay? So that we can understand later point of what purpose I have used this parameter, okay? And the data type also we have defined it. And I'm going to use another keyword called as, and followed by that, I'm going to define the body, begin end. So inside the begin end, you need to specify your business logic. Here, I'm going to use, for example, select select store from. I'm going to say, sorry, instead of this, select store from dim location. I say D. Instead of saying the as D, right? Simply you can use D. So alias, okay? Or you can use as D. It's not mandated that you need to use the alias, okay? Before the alias, you'll have to use as. You can directly use the alias name. Okay, and then I'm going to use join. Okay, I just say sales fact. Yes, on. I'm going to use on D dot location key. See, look here, I don't have to type the column name at all, right? So yes dot the sales fact table, whatever the columns are that is available here, you just scroll down and select that specific column, press enter, that's all. So that is the advantage of using SSMS tool, right? This tool it offers us the code completion facility, hence you don't have to spend too much of time in typing the column name, everything. Okay, hence it improves your productivity. D dot location key. So here I am going to say is equivalent to at location. This is the parameter name I already defined. That is the, this name. Okay, and end. So I have done with creating a stored procedure, simple stored procedure. Okay, fine. So now I just execute this one. I just select everything. I'll explain you the logic, right, and why I use all the parameter. With the parameter, you can make your stored procedure or stored function. We have something else called stored function. With this stored function or stored procedure, we can make, or with the parameters, right? With parameters, by using the parameters in stored procedure and stored function, we can make it more dynamic, right? We can make it more dynamic. So what do you mean by dynamic? So for example, here, sales select star from dim location. I'm going to press F5 key. It's a shortcut key to, instead of clicking on execute, you can select this one and then press F5. It will get executed. You can see the output. So we can see the location here, Chennai, Bangalore, or something like that, right? Here, the idea of this simple stored procedure is whatever the location key that I specify, for example, CHN, if I give, it gives me all the columns in the location dimension table, okay, related to that specific location, okay. So for example, see now we have created the stored procedure. How do we have to use the stored procedure, isn't it? How do I use it? How do I call the stored procedure? Execute. We have a short, we can use it in a short term, right? Instead of specifying execute, or you can use execute. Execute the stored procedure name. What is the stored procedure name? I'm going to click on it here. I just paste it here. And followed by that, I'm going to specify the location key param is equivalent to, for example, I just say BLR. So what will happen is this value BLR will copy to this parameter, and then this BLR will be copied here. So that means, right, this one will have the value BLR, that one will get copied here. Okay, it will get copied here, and then it will pass here. Okay, select all the location where the location name is Bangalore. Here stored procedure SP location line 0 batch line 3. Look here, it gives you the line number also, right? It gives you the line number also. Here I'm going to say the BLR. Okay, here I just say, I think you need to use double quote. Error converting data type non, okay, here location key. What is the location key here? Location key is Pune. Sorry, here I mentioned integer, right? That's the problem. Okay, here you need to use varchar. The data type wrongly I mentioned the integer varchar of 20, something like that. Okay. If I recreate it, see what mistake I did it. I intentionally did this. I mentioned integer data type for this one, but when I use the text value for this parameter, it is throwing an error saying that, hey, this parameter is a integer data type. How can you give the text data type? So what I did, I just realized the mistake, and then I changed this parameter data type as varchar. So varchar is a text data type, and then inside the parenthesis I mentioned the width, okay, 20. So and then I recreated it again by clicking on execute. But had I not mentioned or alter procedure, what would have happened? So or alter, right? What would have happened? This procedure already existing, it would have thrown an error. So since I've used the alter along with create, even if you recreate it, it will get recreated with the changes whatever I made it. Okay. So now if I execute this one, it will display all the data, right? From the not only from the location, from the sales fact also, it gives me everything, right? Because we have joined these two tables based on the common key columns, location key and location key. Okay. So I wanted to see all the transaction related to Bangalore, right? Along with the location name that we can see it here. If your manager wants to see, all you need to do is, right, give your manager only this line. And then you can tell him, hey boss, if you want to see any city name, you can type the city name here. For example, if you go and change it to CHN, what will happen is this parameter, sorry, so now you understood, right? If I execute this, all you have to do is just give this line. You need not to understand what logic you use it here. You need not to be familiar with what is join and what is parameter, all the things, right? So if you want to see only the Chennai related data from both the tables, just select this command and click on execute. That's all. You can see, look here, location name Chennai. It shows only Chennai related information. So what is happening here? I create a procedure by the name of SP join. This can be any name, but give some meaningful name. Okay. And followed by that, you can specify the parameter name. You can specify more than one parameter, but the parameter name should be prefixed with @ symbol. Followed by the @ you need to specify the parameter name, and followed by this parameter name, you need to specify the data type and the width. Okay. And then next one is as. You can specify more than one parameter also. To start with, I have used a single parameter. And followed by, you need to specify the keyword as. Followed with as, you need to use begin end. Inside the begin end, you can use your query. In this case, I have joined two tables, dim location and then sales fact table. Here I have used the keyword called join, right? So join the sales fact table with the dim location with the common key, right? Even look at dim location, I have location key, and sales fact also I have the location key. So join these two tables, the sales fact and dim location using the common key column, location key, and then the where class, the location key, right? So the dim location is equivalent to, instead of specifying Chennai, Pune directly, for example, if I mention Chennai, what will happen? Whenever you execute the project, it will show only the Chennai related data all the time, right? I want to make this stored procedure more dynamic. Okay, so for that, instead of specifying the value directly at Chennai or Bangalore, I just use some parameter. Okay, with this parameter, I've created this stored procedure. Okay, and because of the stored procedure, you can pass any value to it when you call this stored procedure or execute the stored procedure. Okay, but you need to, how do you call the stored procedure? Since you have used the parameter here, you need to use this. See, how in general, how do we call a stored procedure or invoke a stored procedure? Execute, you need to use it, is a reserved word. Followed by that, you need to specify your stored procedure name. Since we have used the parameter here, you need to use the parameter followed by the stored procedure name, and then you need to pass the value to this parameter. So this Chennai will get copied here. Since this one has CHN here, the CHN will get copied here. That CHN will get copied here. So what will happen is this query will go and fetch all the data or transaction related to CHN only. But if you change it to Hyderabad, it will show only. So according to your manager, he has to make change only in this place, right? And then select this one, click on execute, that's all. You need not to worry how to write a query, all the things. So once you write a stored procedure, all you need to do is just call it once. Similarly, for example, guys, right? You are in a bank, right? Let's say you are working in bank and you want to compute the interest rate for different tenure. Let's say I go for a loan, 12 months, what is the interest rate? All the logic you can implement it, right? So, and when you call the stored procedure, you just ask the user to enter the tenure. If you put 36 months, all the logics, whatever you have given it, will get calculated. In your case, the interest calculation, right? It will calculate the interest and then it will display the interest to him, right? So month one, what is the interest? Month two, let's say it goes for 36 months, right? So first month, how much? It's a reducing balance term interest or something, right? It will give you that. So you have implemented all the formulas here. For 36 month, what is the interest rate? And 24 month, what is the interest rate? 12 month, what is the interest rate? Everything mentioned here. All the logic you mentioned and the formula, everything, right? You mentioned it here. So when you, for the end user, right? Let's say I go for a loan. All I have to do is just, hey, give me, you are telling me, hey, Satya, you need to you execute the stored procedure. But for this, for example, at tenure, okay, tenure param, where you specify 36 or 12, whatever the number of tenure that you want, you type it. And if you select and execute it, it will give you the interest rate for that specific tenure, right? It's a reusable code. So once you create the stored procedure, you can give it to Satya, you can give it to Geetika, you can give it to Vinutna, you can give it to Kiran, you can give it to anyone, right? People across the globe can use your logic, right? You can, so they can simply invoke your stored procedure, right? They can, use your stored procedure. Hence it is called reusable component. The interview, they'll ask you, hey, did you create any reusable component? That means, right, like stored procedure and stored function, have you created it? You know how to create stored, that's fine. But apart from your day-to-day task, as part of the project, did you create any value? What kind of value addition that you brought it to the table? So nowadays, that is what the customers are asking. They don't ask all the things. This is the basic thing, you should be knowing it. And beyond that, they ask you what validation. So we have created reusable. How did it help your organization? I've created the interest calculation, reusable component for different tenures. All the thing is then, it save a lot of time, right? Each time you don't have to, each and every user, you don't have to calculate the interest rate, everything manually. Simply give it to them. They will go and simply pass the, the duration here. So based on which it will give you the interest rate for the each month or so, right? So it is reasonable. Now the question is, how can I call this stored procedure? This stored procedure got stored in my Power BI, in my SQL Server. Okay, as the name says, stored procedure, right? It gets stored in your database itself. Okay, and you can yeah, you can find it here. Okay, external resources, synonyms, query, store. This is different thing, and here the storage. Yeah, stored procedure. You will find it somewhere here. Full text catalogs. Even I forgot some. Yeah, external resources. No, not this one. Synonym programmability, maybe here. Okay, and yeah, stored procedure, right? Under programmability, we have some stored procedure. You can see that one, right? The same stored procedure got stored here in this database. Okay. End of the day, it gets stored. So if somebody asks you, the where the stored procedure gets stored, gets stored in my database. Once I create a stored procedure, it gets stored in my database. Don't tell them, under programmability stored in, right? This is for SSMS, right? They logically they put a different thing, different places. That's all. Okay. You have created the stored procedure, fine. But now you are supposed to use that in your Power BI desktop because your organization mandated you are supposed to use the Power BI desktop. For example, the same interest story, right? For different tenure, what is the interest? Okay. So in that case, they want you to present it in the form of table. Okay, something like this, right? So if you put everything here, it will make sense. Okay. So for example, in this case, what we are going to, we need to call the stored procedure from our Power BI desktop. Here I have shown you how to create a stored procedure, how to call the stored procedure in the SQL Server itself. Now we will learn how to call the stored procedure from the Power BI desktop. Click on the SQL Server and then click on the advanced options. You put this one here. That's all. And here you need to specify your SQL Server name. Right click on it, copy it. And here you just paste it. And then here you put retail, type the database name. Okay, retail data warehousing. Here I mentioned I use the same thing, right? So here I did not specify the entire code of the store. This stored procedure got stored already. Why should I call? See, in this case, right, oddly few lines. But typically, when you see the stored procedure, it will have multiple lines of code, multiple queries will be there. They'll be joining all the things. They may use cursor and all the things, okay? It will be like, probably a stored procedure may have, 40 lines or 100 lines also code will be there, okay? So in that case, just specify the stored procedure from your Power BI desktop and use the execute. And in this case, right, the parameter name is Chennai. Okay, that's all. I'm going to hit OK now. Let's see what happens. Can you see what happened? I just called the stored procedure by passing the value as Chennai to the parameter, right? So the stored procedure got invoked and it got executed, and then the data got sent back to your Power BI desktop. I hit load. I think I selected the default one, right? Import mode. Right. Execute in incorrect syntax near. Okay, some problem happened. Hence, we are not going to execute. We are not able to execute this one. Let us wait for some time. Okay. Click on apply changes again. Same error. Execute. I just discard the changes. Discard it. So this is how you need to do. In case you encounter any error, discard it. Click on discard and then go to SQL Server. And here the advanced import mode. I think, yeah, I use the direct query mode. But it doesn't matter. Okay, and what I will do is I'll just use this one. Here I just use retail data warehousing. So I just remove the semicolon. Sometimes, right, this one may not work here. I'm going to hit OK. But it was showing the output. Everything is fine. I'm going to hit load and it should get loaded here because I've used the import mode. It should get loaded here. Okay. There should not be any syntax error. Yeah, 21 rows got loaded. Okay. And Chennai, look here in the SQL server. For the same procedure, we could see that 21 rows got, look here at the corner, right? 21 rows got it. And the same thing got loaded here also. Yeah, the query 4. Okay. So from here, you can drag and drop whatever the things that you need. For example, you want the location name. This is the import mode. The data got loaded locally. The sales amount, you can put it here. And then if you wanted to have the cost price, you can have it here. And if you want the detailed transaction, you just go to the sales amount, click on it here. Don't summarize. And cost price, you click on it. Don't summarize, you select it. We'll get everything here, right? All the 21 records, you will find it here. All the columns. Or if you are very specific, only few records, you can just use drag and drop only few things. And if you want to aggregation, you can click on here and summarize some, right? If you apply the summarization for any specific numeric column, everything else will get summarized automatically. In Chennai, what is the sales amount and cost price and discount? But still, it shows multiple rows Chennai, right? It is not showing correctly. You can use consistently sum for everything here. Okay, now we have only one record. Very good, right? In Chennai, what is the total sales amount? What is the total cost price and what is discount? If you want to see that, you can. Or if you want to see the transactional data, click on Don't Summarize in this one. First, you need to select this visual and then only you will find the columns field. You will find all the things. Okay, you can go and do this one. But when I use the same thing in direct query mode, what was happened? So we will try one more time with the, so not this one, direct query mode. I have used it. So here, look here, I just copy paste that one. See, sorry, here I just copied already. I just click on the database engine. I'm going to copy this one. And then here you have the retail data warehousing, right? So warehousing. I'm going to remove the semicolon. We will check, is that the problem? So direct query, in the direct query mode, I just invoke the stored procedure. Let us see what happens. Same issue, right? Incorrect syntax near the execute. Even in this case, it is throwing an error, right? Because of some limitations. I'm not able to use this one. I'm going to click on, wait, I try one more time by clicking on the apply changes. Incorrect syntax near the keyword execute. Okay, see the same thing was working with direct query mode, but in the import mode, but the same command is not working in the case of direct query mode. So this one we will discuss in tomorrow's time because I have some other status call, not tomorrow, the upcoming weekend, right? I'll spend more time, right, in discussing this one. You can also check, why we are getting this error. Any of this video will get uploaded tonight itself. And you should be able to watch the videos, tomorrow morning itself. Okay. All these things you can watch it there. Okay. All the videos, whatever I covered. So, okay. With this, we have covered how to execute the SQL query from the Power BI desktop using the import connectivity mode and direct connectivity mode. And also we have seen, the limitations with direct query mode. When I introduced order by in my SQL query, it was not working because of limitations. Direct query mode, you cannot use order by. And also substring, right? If you want to merge or substring and all, if you want to use it, right? Complex logic, if you use in a SQL query, the direct query mode will not work. And also in the stored procedure, when I use a stored procedure, a simple stored procedure, when I try to call it from my Power BI desktop, it was working with import mode, whereas it was not working with the um, direct query mode. Okay. So why it is not working with my direct query mode? So that is the one we are going to discuss in the next session. And followed by that, we will discuss we will see the stored function also, how to call the stored function from the Power BI desktop. That also we'll see it. Is it possible to call the stored procedure? Everything we'll see it in the next session. This Saturday and Sunday, we will continue for sure. Then there will not be any more confusions. Okay. Any questions so far? Yeah. So you have office. I know that. I'm going to. That's the reason why. Deepthi, I'm going to end this now. Okay. Ganga Reddy, you have any? Gangi Reddy, you have any questions? Yes, and one more thing is, if you get any error, for example, you are getting an error, don't say no, I'm getting an error. Send a screenshot with the that error message and error number should be visible to me. You just send it to me, and what I will is I'll try to help you out. Okay, but give it a try so that you will not forget it. That's the whole idea. All right. Since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session. Hope you understood, right, how to navigate, but still I will share the link. Okay, I'll share the link. Where to download the data and where to watch the videos, right? I will send you direct link also. And you have seen how to log in all the things, right? Right. And those of you do not have laptop, don't worry, guys. See, in the next session, I'll show you how to connect to Google Analytics. You know, right? What is Google Analytics? For example, you own a website and you want to understand what kind of users are and from which location or which geography people are accessing your website, in which page of your website people are accessing it more frequently, how many number of clicks you got it, all the information you can find it, right? When you connect to the Google Search Console and all, or Google Analytics, okay? That we will see it in the next the upcoming weekend, okay? So these things, right? You don't have to have everything. This is what the point I'm trying to make. For example, if I show the demo in database or if I show the demo in cloud, you don't have certain things. You just watch my video and go and tell the employer as though you worked on. That's all. Okay. End of the day, you need to understand the crux of the concepts like what is stored procedure, the connection you're connecting to cloud or it doesn't matter, right? You just instead of giving the SQL server name as local host, so you give the cloud Azure SQL server name. That's all. Not much difference. It's kind of a URL, right? That's all. I've shown you that with the database, isn't it? But database, in my case, it picked up automatically from the cookies, kind of cookies. Okay, it was not asking me the server name and all. Okay, but first time it will ask you the server name. That's what I explained you how to get the server name from the database cloud, right? The settings, if you click on the settings in the database cloud, right? So there you will find the URI, something like a server or URI. There you need to exclude the HTTP colon and all, right? You take only the name of the server and copy paste it in your database in your Power BI desktop. That's all, okay? And then it will ask you the username password. It will not ask the username for also because once you connected in the database website, and then you need to give the server name. That's all. It will get connected automatically. So okay, yeah, you don't try to practice everything by having Google Analytics. For that, you need to have a website, and website traffic should be there. Certain things you just watch my video and go and talk on these are things I use it. That's all. Okay. And certain things, yes, like short procedure, everything you need to practice it. But these are the important thing, right? Certain things you can just watch it and go and talk. That is enough. Because that's very expensive thing for you, right? Fine. Since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session. See you all in the upcoming weekend. We will spend more time. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Bye.